Hi guys, this is Karina at Hip Hip Karina. If you're tuning in the first time, I'm basically here to kind of record my journey from getting information about my hip dysplasia and knowing that I have advanced hip arthritis to my surgery. 2 years ago, I found out that I had a bone on bone in my hip. I wasn't really ready for the news, so I didn't really explore the surgery option at all. That was the only thing that I was offered at the doctor's office. 2 years went by and my arthritis has gotten better. So when I went to the doctor a month ago, I actually found out that I was born with hip dysplasia, and that's what really caused the damage in my hip, and that's why I was dealing with that stuff. So having said that, I want to share, this is my personal journey, but I wanted to also share that I do believe that exercise is very helpful for joint health. It's really good in general to exercise to keep our joint healthy. The movement increases the lubrication of the joint by synovial fluid, keeps the joint healthy, mobile. There's different stages of arthritis. If you initially notice just the tension in the muscle, it's really good to work on flexibility as well as mobility of the joint. In a further stages of arthritis, 2, 3, or 4, then once we have bone spurs or bones are really rubbing against each other, some mobility exercises are probably not the best idea, but stretching to keep um, the joint a little more mobile and not compressed helps a ton, and strengthening the muscles surrounding the joint that support and provide stability for the joint is very helpful too. But today I wanted just to show you really quickly foam rolling that helped me, with reducing the pain because it would relax the muscles around the joint, so it would decrease the compression of the muscle, as well as the traction. That was very, very helpful. If you have a physical therapist who will do those for you, that's great. It's always better if somebody else does it for you. But if you don't have access or your insurance doesn't pay for physical therapy for some reason, you can try to do some of those things by yourself. You can buy a massage gun that helps with those muscles as well. But I love the foam roller. It's a little painful to do it, but it does bring a lot of relief and traction with the band that I use. It's not in a perfect positioning. It's really hard with the band to position your hip to do the traction, but what I was able to do helped me anyway. So I'm just gonna put the phone down so you guys can see. Okay, let me just see if I can put this here maybe. There you go. So the foam roller. So when you foam rolling, I'm gonna do it on my painful hip. I always do both sides anyways. A lot of times when you have arthritis in one hip, the other hip will be affected too. The hip attaches to your pelvis, the pelvis attaches to your lumbar spine. So with the hip arthritis, you might also have a little bit of a lower back issues because your lower back needs to become more mobile when your hip becomes less mobile, and then on the other side you're gonna have to compensate as well, so you might have a lot of pains and aches in the opposite leg or even in opposite knee. Okay, so I'm gonna do it here. We're gonna sit down on the foam roller. So I'm gonna do piriformis first, the deep hip muscle. I'm gonna have to do it on the right side. Sorry, I can't do my left side. It's very painful right now. So cross, so you can see how it's supposed to be done. You open the knee out and you find the sore spot and just roll it gently, or just stay on that spot until you feel release of that pain, okay? And we're just rolling gently or until you feel release. Very good. And again, you want to do both sides. And I'll show you on my left side that's less mobile. I can't open my knee out. My hip doesn't rotate outwards at all that much, but I'll show you how I do it. I think the most frustrating thing for me over the time was when I was trying to look up some mobility exercises or flexibility exercises. Something new, I was never able to find anybody who already was lacking the mobility, and all those mobility exercises were more frustrating than anything else because there were people showing them they had full mobility of the joint, you know. So I can't fully cross my leg, but I can extend this knee and open it gently and now turn, okay? So by extending that leg, it makes it easier to rotate and open that hip up and do the same thing. Or if you can't do it, you can put it on the floor and rotate this way a little bit. Makes sense? So that opens still that hip up a little bit for you to be able to do it. So depending how much your mobility is affected on that side, you're going to have to kind of change the way you position yourself to be able to get to that muscle. Then we're going to go to the side. So right here, my TFL, you know, so that also helped tremendously to roll through, and then rolling through the whole IT band. So once your joint is not stable anymore, especially in my case, mine are just touching bone to bone. I'm assuming that my labrum is totally gone or severely injured, so it's not providing stability to the joint. So those muscles have to take over and stabilize the joint for you, so you're able to walk and do things. So they are going to be very, very tight. Also, with the joint being so compressed and those bones rubbing against one another, and you're having bone spurs there, there's a pain inside of the joint, so your brain will want to protect your joint from being damaged more and will tighten up those muscles to reduce mobility in that joint as well. So you have the constant message from the brain going to the muscle to tighten up to protect the joint as well. So that foam rolling is not going to be long-lived, but it's going to provide a little bit of pain relief for you. And I go all the way down. My pain is usually here. My IT band gets very tight. And then I'll go all the way to the knee. There you go. And then I will turn around and do both legs at the same time on the quads. My quads get really tight too. You can do both legs at the same time, or you can go on the edge of the foam roller and start with your hip flexor. So in my hip, all range of motion is affected. The flexion, the extension, abduction, adduction, and rotations, both ways, internal and external. And the hip flexor as well. And then you can roll all the way through your quad as well. And you do it all the way to the knee. I'm not going to take all the time to do it, and you want to do it always on both sides. Anyways, you can spend a little extra time on the side that's affected, but you also want to reduce the tension on the opposite side, because again, you are going to be compensating, okay? So that's a foam roller for the lower body, okay? The traction, so what I was using was this thick band. I would attach it to something very sturdy, so I have a lot of equipment here in the gym, but I would attach it very sturdy, and this one is a thicker band. I'm going to try to position myself so you can see. I'm going to pull it out. This band pulls out. Let me just turn this camera out this way a little bit. There you go. So I have this band, and I just want to put my foot inside of this band. Does it want to fit? Okay. Usually I have it a little longer. There you go. Create some tension here. And pull. Let the pull of the band pull. Pull it up. So I would just get that a little higher. Oh gosh, I'm having trouble. That needs to be a little higher. Usually I'm in a different spot, so that is a little longer. just apply the traction and move myself away as far as you can to feel the pull of the band, and just try to relax and breathe and let the band pull. And that itself is really pain relieving. I try to find different angles and open this leg out too to create a little more pull. So at different angles I feel different relief of the pain, and pull myself out away again. I would do it this way. Honestly, I tried to do it 10 minutes a day to really have that relief. I would also move to the side. And even to front to get that traction. Traction was probably the most pain relieving thing that I have done for myself. So that's the traction of the band, okay? So these are two things that helped me tremendously with that hip pain, and even now I did it just for a couple minutes, maybe less, and that feels really good to do. I haven't done it since I got the diagnosis. I know it's kind of strange. I've done it up until I went to the doctor, and then as soon as she told me there's really nothing else I can do, I stopped and my pain increased. So I'm back to doing that because my surgery is not until 2 more months, so I still have to create some space in my joint to have a little less pain. So I'm gonna get back to it, but if you guys have any questions, just let me know, okay? Talk to you soon, bye.